Hi everybody, welcome back to Mama G's Pantry. I'm about to make dinner and my director insisted that he record it because it's certainly one of his favorite dishes. It was one of my mother's favorite dishes too, Ellie Greenwood. My father of course was very British with the name Greenwood. He drank his tea like this and stirred his tea with his pinky up. But Mum was a proud Hungo-Chagarian of some East European origin. She didn't know. Coming from a family of 9, she said they didn't have time to talk about where they came from. Anyway, this dish is called rouladen. And for all my vegetarian friends, you can just quit watching now, or who knows, maybe I'll get you eating meat. Anyway, it's a relatively simple dish with not that many ingredients, a bit of dicing to begin with. You buy rouladen meat, you can buy it at most Safeways. It comes in a package, it looks rolled up, it's called rouladen. I believe it's inside round roast that they just cut incredibly thin, as you can see. So you just roll it out. I made myself a little work surface here because it can be a little messy. And then the magic begins. On each of these pieces of rouladen, we're going to put some mustard. Be generous. Onion. As you know, I'm putting the ingredients on the bottom of all the recipes now in the description section. You can see from this, well, I've just made this so many times, I just kind of do it by instinct. But so you put some mustard, you put some onions, and some raw chopped bacon on each one of these. And then comes the pièce de résistance, a pickle. These are my homemade dill pickles that Connie Ferris and I make every year. Although now that she's moved, I guess she'll have to come back and make them with me. There we go. And now I usually start with the widest end and just grab that pickle and start rolling. That's probably why it's called rouladen. If you can, you start at the wide end. You can kind of turn the sides in and help you roll, because ultimately you kind of want to keep all that goodness in the roll. Okay, there you go. Now, I've been rolling things for a long time, so I'm a pretty good roller, but most people, you might want to, just to make sure everything sticks in, you could secure it with a toothpick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll up the rest of these, and I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so I've got all my rolls done. I did put toothpicks in them because really, you can use the flour like this to kind of sort of seal them. But you don't want all those little jewels in the middle to come out. So in this bowl or plate of pepper or flour, I just put some salt and pepper. Now I'm only making 4. 2 per person is probably about right. And it's just Doug and I, again. But you can make a big pot of them. Divide them up and put them in the freezer and just take out as many as you want. Now, like all stews and most braised meat, you want to brown that meat really well first. And to do that, you keep the meat fairly far apart from each other. If it's too close together, it just kind of bubbles and all the liquid comes out and it kind of bubbles instead of browns. And what we want to do is brown these really well. The browner you get them in the pan, the better your gravy is going to get. And I'm going to tell you something. Of all the gravies in the world, rouladen gravy is absolutely my favorite. So don't cinch on browning them up. Brown them up really well. I'm going to do that and we'll come back to the next part. Okay, so you can see these rolls here have gotten really nice and dark brown. And that's what you want, whether it's a roll or a beef stew cube. That caramelization on the meat is what's going to make your gravy super delicious. Now in this bowl where I had my rolls, I'm now going to make a bit of a roux, which is basically butter, and I have my leftover flour. Okay, and then I just stir that fat and flour together. That's going to make my gravy nice and thick, and plus it's getting up all the little brown bits on the bottom. So whenever you do this, you just want to cook it for a couple of minutes, sort of bake out the flour. It'll also make it a little browner. And then water or beef stock if you've got it. For some reason, I have 2 open jars of chicken stock in my fridge, but no beef. And this really should be beef, but water works just fine. So we add that in and just stir, stir, stir until it turns into, it's not going to be that brown gravy to start with, but once it gets in the pot with those rouladen, it will definitely turn brown. But I want to boil. Turn it down a bit and just see how thick this gets. And I want to make sure that I have enough to almost cover these rolls, which I don't think I do. So I'm going to put a little more water in, settle down that bubbling. Whenever you use flour and water to thicken something, you have to let it come to the boil for a while. It won't, that will show you how thick it is. Alright, so the next step, once you're satisfied that your gravy looks good, maybe add a little salt and pepper, pour it over your rouladen, cover it, get every little bit of brown off there, I'm telling you. There you go. Kind of a big pan for these lonely rouladen. I'm going to cover that up, stick it in the oven at 350 degrees, probably for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I like to check it maybe after an hour just to make sure that I haven't baked off all my gravy, in which case you usually just add more water. So in it goes, and when we're ready for dinner, I'll show you the end product. Alright everybody, here's the finished product. My rouladen is out of the oven with tons of gravy everywhere. Now, you know, you should probably take out toothpicks for your fellow diners, but I'm making my director work for his dinner tonight. To me, because this makes the best gravy in the world, you gotta have mashed potatoes, and I made some lightly boiled carrots, added a little smoked maple syrup, which will be another show if I make it to this summer. And that is your meal. A few pickled onions, nice baguette, glass of wine, my love, perfect meal. See you next time, everybody.